mode.
Hello, hello, and welcome to another webinar. We have a great presentation planned for you tonight. Before we get started, please type in the chat. Let me know if you're hearing my voice. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. There may be just a slight echo, but I'm pretty sure that will be fixed as soon as I mute myself and our presenter gets started, so I don't think that's going to be a big deal. All right, and you should also see on your screen this presentation will be starting shortly. Do you see the screen? Please type in screen if you see it. All right, Sharon, Jim, Jackie, Patricia, Dave, Dove, Carrie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to be getting started here in about 15 seconds. Welcome to this workshop. You are in for a real treat tonight. My guest tonight is my good friend, Ty Cohen. Now, Ty is an accomplished internet marketer, and he's also a former morning talk show radio personality. He's also an author and creator of over a dozen best-selling books, software programs, directories, and products. Over the last 11 years, Ty has taught thousands and thousands of people how to be successful marketing, promoting, and selling their own products and services online. Tonight, Ty is going to reveal how he took his own personal Amazon Kindle ebook publishing account from $0 to $10,000 and then to over $30,000 a month in sales, and how you can create an instant stream of monthly reoccurring revenue with Amazon. So with that, Ty, I want to welcome you to this webinar. How you doing, man?
Hey, James, I am doing fantastic, and I'm actually happy to be here. My wife says the only time she can tell when I'm excited is when I'm talking about Kindle publishing. So this is one of my favorite topics here, and I'm just tickled to death to be here.
Well, we are tickled to death to have you, Ty.
How do you like that phrase?
So, buddy, anytime. I love that phrase. Hey, we are both just old Southern boys, you know.
That's it. That's definitely it there. So, hey, I'm gonna jump
right
into this. I think everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself, but I'll be here in the background in case you need anything.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, folks, it looks like everyone can see my screen right now. It says this presentation will be starting shortly. And if you can hear my voice, Mark Smith, Leonard Donnelly, let me know. Just give me a big yes in the questions box. We've got Nancy saying yes. We've got Carrie saying yes. Patricia, Mark Smith, of course. Len, Marion, Snips, Jackie, Leonard Donnelly, Dove. We've got Thomas Bass. We've got Beth, Marlene, maybe it is. Jim M. We've got Av Peterson. We've got Nancy Murdoch. We've got just a ton of people that are saying yes. So it looks like I am good to go. Now, let's switch screens here and tell me if you can see this one as well. So my goal is to show you how publishing short 20-page ebooks on Amazon.com can be a highly profitable, easy, and extremely lucrative way to generate income, leads, and massive commissions for years and years to come without your competition ever knowing how you did it. I'm one of those guys that likes to play the background. So the part of being able to generate income and to build up a list doing this without many people knowing what you're doing is something that is extremely appealing to me. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing this, ladies and gents. And one of the things that I want to do is, before we get started, give you a brief introduction as to what a Kindle device is. Now, I know James's audience is pretty smart. You guys are probably really familiar with this whole Kindle publishing process. But in the event that there's one or two of you who may not be familiar with what a Kindle device is, let's talk about it for just a moment. All right, so a Kindle device is it's a portable ebook reader that was created by Amazon.com, and I think this was one of the most brilliant devices that was ever created. And what it does is it allows you to specifically go in and shop for and download ebooks, right? As well as other digital media like newspapers, magazines, blogs, and things like that as well. But when Amazon came out with the Kindle device, they totally changed a lot of things. Number one, they changed the publishing industry to a degree, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit as well, because right now there's over 7 billion people on the planet Earth here, and there's actually more devices, more electronic devices than there are people, right? So this says 7 billion here. That number, right, is a bit lower. There's actually more. So the Kindle device that I mentioned earlier allows you to go in and not only, you know, find ebooks, but also go in and buy them and download them to your device, right? But I also want to point out that Amazon realized that not everyone will go in and buy a Kindle device. So something that is super brilliant that I think they did was they came up with the application, and that is the Kindle Direct Publishing platform. It's the Kindle Reader app that allows you to go in and install it to any of the devices that you see here. So your PC, your laptop, your Macintosh, your iPod, your iPad, if you've got a BlackBerry still, right, you can go in and download it to any of those devices there. And what I'm going to share with you is the same system that I used to buy my mom a house recently here in North Carolina. My mom's 77, and ever since I was 13 years old, one of my major goals has been to buy her a house. Now, she's owned many houses, right, during her lifetime, my mom and my dad, but she lived in Connecticut. As James mentioned, earlier, we're in the South here. I'm in North Carolina, and I wanted to move my mom closer to me here in the South. So I knew that she was a little bit stuck in her ways, and I knew that the way to do it was to go in and buy her a house, buy her her dream house, right? Like I said, she's older. She wants something. She wanted something that was just one floor. She wanted something with multiple bedrooms, multiple baths, right, and a nice garden area so that she can go out there and garden. And just this past October, I was able to do that and not only buy her a house, but pay cash for it. Right, so I knew I would really get her if I said, "Ma, you know what? This thing, the mortgage is free and clear. You got to move in now." Right, so that is that. My dad has since passed away, if you guys are wondering about him as well. So that's why he's not there. But this same system is what has allowed me to do that. So I think that in addition to being able to make money and have the freedom, just being able to take care of people that you really care for and that you really love is one of the extra bonuses, the extra pluses of what I'm going to show you here. All right, so let's jump in. Here's one of my students. This is a guy by the name of Brian, and this guy is actually a professor up at Penn State, and he sent me this text one morning, and he says, "Ty, you know, this month will be my first $5,000 month. I want to thank you for all of your guidance and inspiration. My goal is set on getting to the $10,000 per month level by next month." He actually became a student. I taught him everything that I know about Kindle publishing. He ended up doing so well with it that he actually invited me to come up and be a guest lecturer to his class at Penn State. He teaches a business class at Penn State, so that was pretty flattering. Here's another one of my students, Tracy Voister. She's about 60 something years old. She's on the West Coast, and she had taken this course, and she sent me this text message here, as you can see on my fancy Apple Watch, and she says, "Good morning, Ty. My ebook has sold 5 copies this week." Right now, you might be thinking 5 copies, that's nothing to write home about, right? But here's the beauty of this. She had just gotten started with my course 2 days prior to sending this text. All right, so she's a fast action taker, and she started to get fast results because of that. Right, here's another one of my students. This is a gentleman by the name of Dan DeVry, who's over in Perth, Australia. He sent me this text. He says, actually, this was a Skype message that he sent me. He says, "Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales," which is pretty cool. All right, so I like getting testimonials like that, and I love to get one from you once you go through this program. All right, so right now you are at ground level of what is being called a new age digital diamond mine. Right, that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a new age digital diamond mine because there's just literally acres and acres of diamonds to be mined here. And I want to show you guys some of the money that I've been able to make just playing around with publishing ebooks before I created a streamlined system for doing it. Now, before I get started, right, I do want to deviate a little bit because James and I are such good friends. I want to throw some extra nuggets into this presentation. So I hope you folks don't mind if I deviate every once in a while. Now, if you notice here, I say before I created a streamlined system for doing anything, for doing this, right? One of your biggest benefits to doing anything and being successful at it, right? Not even benefit, but one of the things that will benefit you the most will be creating a system, right? Either you create a system of what works for you, or you follow a system of what works for someone else. Systems will be your best friend because it makes it easy, right? It makes it easy for you to say, okay, here's the first step, here's the next step, here's the next step, here's the next step, right? And following a proven system, in most cases, will get you results that are similar. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out there. So, like a lot of individuals, I was all over the place. I had shiny object syndrome to like the 10th degree before I got started with this program. And because of that, I really didn't see the true potential initially. So this was one of the first checks that I received. It was in the amount of $2,297.30. Right? Now, again, when I got this check, because I was all over the place, trying everything from like article publishing to YouTube videos to SEO, I truly did not realize the opportunity that I had. Now, how many people here, we're going to be totally transparent with each other on this presentation, right? I said to myself, if I ever got to the point where I'm teaching a webinar, right, I've got to do it to the point where not only am I just talking to the audience, but I want the audience to be able to communicate back with me. So I don't want this to be a one-to-many conversation. I want you to chime in using that questions box there. Now, how many people are just all over the place as I was at this point? How many people have shiny object syndrome, just like I had? How many people are trying to do multiple things? And we're going to be totally transparent. We're going to be honest with each other. All right, Mark says, just getting started. Patricia says, yep. Me says, Jim. I'm definitely all over the place, says Nancy. I won't even call out your last name, right, just to keep it totally anonymous. I've come to that conclusion, says Joe. Oh, my gosh, says me, says Tracy. Yep, says Sahara. I think I've gotten that right. Is that right, Sarah? Let me know. That's a beautiful name. Your first and your last name are beautiful. I love that. Wow. Me, says Maura. All over the place, says Joe. Yes, says Dove. I'm doing multiple stories, but not all over the place. Carrie, that's a little bit different. If you're doing multiple stories, that's fine. I'm doing the same thing, as you'll see. One of many, says Leonard. I recognize that check from Garner. All right. All right, says Wally. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Sounds like Syra. Got it. Syra, that's awesome. All right, so now, it wasn't until the next month when I didn't really do anything differently in my account, but I went from $2,297.30 in royalties, right, to bam, the next month I got a check in the amount of $2,873.13. $2,873.13. Right now, at this point, I'm starting to see the potential here. I'm starting to see, all right, the potential. And I started to publish a few more ebooks. And then I went from $2,873.13 to bam, the next month, $4,462.53. Now, at this point, I'm excited. I'm dropping everything else and I'm adding more ebooks. But in addition to that, I'm also testing things like titles. I'm testing things like my descriptions. I'm testing things like price points, right? I'm testing things like covers. So I'm putting more effort into this. And then with some of those things, in addition to publishing more ebooks, I went from $4,462.53 to bam, a whopping 88% increase, where I saw the next check that came in the amount of $8,403.84. All right. So there you go. All right. Now, I consistently see checks in the amount of over 30,000. Over 30,000. All right. So this is where we're at. Now, I've got a lot of students that are doing well, right? I consistently do very well with this. Not only on the money side where I'm able to generate a lot of income, right? But I'm also doing this to the degree where I'm also generating a lot of leads, right? So I'm building up lists in different niches, which is awesome here. So for me, I want to actually try to close this bottom piece here. Just give me 1 second here, guys, because I noticed that I'm on one of my office computers here in my actual office, and I've never done a webinar on this computer, so I noticed that the bottom is just a bit cut off, and it's driving me nuts a little bit here. So is that bothering you guys? If not, we're going to continue, all right? And Nancy, I'll talk about that in just a moment, all right? Nancy's asking me, what do I write about? So there's a variety of topics. No bother, no bother, no bother. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's rock and roll. So take a look at this, 3,352 contacts, okay? New leads in the last 30 days, all right? For this one niche here, 18,000 contacts altogether. So it's the perfect lead generator, all right? The perfect lead generator in addition to the perfect income generator. So what makes this different is the fact that, number one, it's a real business where you're joining forces with a real multi-billion-dollar, globally recognized brand, and you're tapping into this multi-billion person market, right? Multi-billion person market. The third thing is it's a system that's easy to make money and drive leads with month after month after month, okay? Now, a little bit about me. I started out working as a clerk at Walgreens Pharmacy, so there's nothing special about me. Not this huge marketer. I didn't start out with that type of a background. And to be, again, totally transparent with you, you will most likely not make thousands and thousands of dollars from the first ebook that you publish. Now, you can do very well with this, all right? You can do very well with this, all right? Especially if you put in the effort. Most people don't put in the effort. When I first got started, I just wanted to cover a few bills. Now, this is a long-lasting business model, all right, that you can consistently generate income from for many, many, many years, all right? Okay, so are you ready to discover the 3 secrets to publishing best-selling Kindle books on Amazon? Secret number 1 is how to come up with a best-selling book idea, all right, in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. Secret number 2, 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you hate writing. Secret number 3, I'll show you how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you can start making sales. So secret number 1, we're going to dive right into this. How do you come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this, right? So the first thing is you use the Google Keyword Planner to find a best-selling book idea and to come up with a killer title in minutes. Super easy stuff. All right, so let's go back here. If you go to Google and you type in Google Keyword Planner, typically it's the first or second result that comes up. All right, you click onto that, and you're going to see a control panel that looks a bit like this. They change it up from time to time, but for the most part, it functions the same. All right, so now here's the area where you're going to type in your keyword, your phrase, the idea that you're considering publishing an ebook around. Once you do that, you want to come down here and select all locations, all languages, Google and search partners, and then hit search. When you do that, right, what's going to happen is Google is going to give you similar phrases that people are searching for. So at this time, I was studying lucid dreaming. How many people are familiar with lucid dreaming? It's the ability to actually consciously control your dreams while you're actually sleeping and dreaming. It's the most fantastic thing ever. It's amazing if you're trying to figure out problems, or if you're goal setting, or you've just got like a really hard issue that you're dealing with, and you're looking for a solution to it. You'll be amazed at how your subconscious mind will help you come up with the answers to things. All right, so I put in the phrase dreams interpretation there, and then I hit search. Jim says, me. It is cool stuff. I agree. All right, so then we hit search, and now on the next page, Google will show you similar phrases that people are searching for. So let's take a look at some of these. Meaning of dreams, 18,100 individuals that search for that phrase. Dream meaning, 2,900. Dreams and their meanings, 590 individuals. All right. This is the part that is going to really explode your sales. So I want you to pay attention to this. All right. One of the things that I found that really works well and lets me know that I'm on the right path with my market research is if I can get my combined monthly search volume, right, to be between 10,000 to 100,000. So I hope everyone got that. If I can enter a phrase up here, hit search, and Google says here's some similar phrases, and those similar phrases, their combined average monthly search volume is between 10,000 to 100,000. then that lets me know that I've hit the honey spot, as my friends over in the UK like to say. Right? Now, you may be asking, why do we want to stay between 10,000 to 100,000? The reason why is because if you're below 10,000, right, then it's like you've got this Ferrari on a dead end street. You've got all this power, but nowhere to go. All right, the marketplace is extremely small. It's limited. And if you're going to do something like this, I believe in, well, let me just give you another one of my philosophies, something that has worked well for me. I'm a big believer in putting your time, your money, and your effort into things that are going to pay off long term. All right, long term. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. If you guys remind me to talk about, what type of content you should not publish. All right, keeping that in mind. Now, let's talk about why you don't want it to be more than 10,000. Well, you don't want it to be more than 10,000 because if it is, then your marketplace, the universe is just too big, right? Your sales universe is too big. So 10,000 to 100,000 is like the sweet spot. Does everyone have that? I want to really make sure that everyone has that before we move on. So give me a big yes. All right. See, Sahara, maybe. I think I'm going to screw that up for the rest of this webinar. Please forgive me there. But Dove says yes. Mark says yes. Sarah says yes. Beth, yes. Jim, big yes. All right. Perfect. And Sarah says, I forgive you. Awesome. Awesome, my dear. I knew I liked you for a reason. All right. So let's continue to move on. Now, another reason why I love using this keyword, Google Keyword Planner is because you can also come up with some really cool titles. So let's take a look at some of these titles here. Meaning of dreams, right? Meaning of dreams. You've got 18,100 individuals searching for that phrase, typing that phrase into Google. Dreams and their meanings. You've got 590 people that are typing that phrase into Google, right? These both make excellent titles. And in addition to the fact that they're laid out in a nice format, meaning that they would make a great title, there's also a good amount of people that are searching for these phrases. Right? Now, one of the things that I like to do is when I see titles like this that just make sense, because not all of them make sense, right? Dreams, meanings, right? Dream meanings, that doesn't make sense. Meanings of dreams, to a degree, right? But when I get a title like this, I like to go and I'll use this as the main title, and then I'll add on as a subtitle. So, meaning of dreams, how to decipher last night's dream. Or dreams and their meanings, how to tell what your dreams really mean, right? So you can go and you can add a subtitle onto that. So go ahead, play around with that. Give me some ideas. What would you guys use here? How would you add on to either one of these, right? So this is going to be crucial too to the amount of success that you have, because your titles play a big part in all of this. As a matter of fact, your titles are so important to the point where I actually like to call my titles my first line of defense, right? And I don't talk about that in this presentation, but it's something that I share with my high-end students. Matter of fact, let me share this with you folks. Write this down. I'm going to deviate just once more. Write down my titles are my first line of defense. Right? And then I want you to also write down, okay, my cover is my second line of defense. And then your description is your third line of defense. Right? So title first, cover second, description third. Okay. Now, those will vary depending on who your audience is. It's extremely important to know who your audience is. All right. So we've got Ross said, you can put in meaning of dreams, what your dreams mean. All right. That's a good one, Ross. Thank you. All right. So it's important to know who your audience are. All right. Who's going to be buying your books and who are you targeting? And the reason why is because men and women shop on Amazon in a totally different way. All right. As a matter of fact, ladies, back me up on this. I'm going to give you an example of what I mean here. After researching this stuff for many, many years, I found that women, right, will go on Amazon. They'll look for, or they'll type in whatever it is that they're looking for, and then when they see it, the first thing that captures their attention is the title. And then if the title resonates with them, then they'll go in, and then they'll look at the cover, and then they'll go in and they'll read the description. Right? So it's that order, right? Women are a little bit more analytical. So it's the title, cover, and then description. And all of this happens quickly, right? From title to cover, that happens in a matter of milliseconds, right? And then they go in and they read the descriptions, and then they want to look at the reviews and things like that, right? Men, on the other hand, we're a little bit more visual, and it gets us into trouble sometimes, right? We focus on the cover first. So we look at the cover first, then the title, and then the description and reviews and things like that. So that's why it's extremely important to know who your demographic is. All right. Now, ladies, does that sound about accurate there with your browsing habits? Men are visual hunters, says Joe. Women hunt with their whole brain. Joe, there you go. Yep, says Nancy, right on target. Yeah, pretty much, says Sahara. I'm gonna get that right before this webinar is over, I promise you. All right. So there you go. And that's it. So you want to know who your audience is. So now, you folks ready to move on? I'm excited. I'm loving this stuff so far. I'm loving the interaction. So the more questions, the more interaction, the better. Let's rock and roll. So now, because your titles are so important, right? There's another thing that I came up with that's going to help you, and I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But first, one of the questions that I get all the time is, Ty, why do we use this Google Keyword Planner to help us find titles? Well, the reason why is if you craft your titles correctly, you increase the chances of them ranking high within both Amazon and Google search engines. So you get both of these multi-billion-dollar companies helping you to boost your sales. All right? So let's take a look at how this works. Now, Google loves unique content. Google loves content that is consistently updated. Google loves new content. And who does all three of those better than Amazon, right? So let's say you have a book listed on Amazon and it's titled How to Market and Sell Your eBook, right? How to Market and Sell Your eBook. And then let's say you have someone who's over on Google. They are totally oblivious to the fact that there's this ebook on Amazon, but they have a book of their own that they want to start to market and sell. So they go over to Google, they type in How to Market and Sell Your eBook. They hit search. Guess what happens, right? They see this first page. These are the listings on the first page. And they see this yellow area here, but they sort of gloss over this section as most of us do. And why is that? Why do we gloss over this section here when we're searching on Google? Let's see who gets it first out of this brilliant audience that we have here. Let's see. Mark Smith says, I'm not seeing the section. Here, Mark, this yellow section here, right? It's the ad section, says Dennis. Sponsored, says Jim. They are the paid listings, says Nancy, all right? Paid, says Beth, all right? They pay to be there, says Beth, because it's paid, says Sarah, all right? Okay, so that's it. You folks got it, all right? Now, but luckily for this person, right, guess what happens? So now the average searcher, they're going to gloss over these, but they're going to come down to the organic listings here. They see this one, and then they see this one. Now, which of these two stands out the most? It's the Amazon listing. Absolutely, Bob. And it stands out for several reasons. So there's about 5 or 6, probably about 7 different reasons as to why this one stands out. Who can point? Let's point some of these out, right? Because this is going to help you with your listings and your sales as well. Imagine getting your book listed on Google, and not only on Google, but take a look at this, right? We're first page of Google, right? Second result. First page, second result out of 5 million results. Second result on the first page here. So let's take a look. Why does this one stand out? Well, and the answers are flying in. Let's see. It's the one with the stars, says Beth. Stars and reviews, says Joe. Amazon because of the 5 stars, says Luke. People know and trust Amazon, says Patricia. Ratings in the stars, says Jim. Amazon is very well known, says Beth. Stars, ratings, and longer blurbs, says Ross. Amazon, quote at the bottom, says Joe. Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. The excitement of the first few chapters builds an incredible momentum. So right on, spot on, Joe. Trustworthiness of Amazon, the stars attract us, says Nancy. Those stars definitely stand out, right? What else? I don't think there's something else that I'm looking for that no one. You guys all have great answers, and this is all true. But there's 1 or 2 things that have yet to be mentioned, right? The high stars or ratings. What does cached mean in a listing? That's just cached. It just means that it's been saved in Google, right? So Google. All right. So how to, the quote, the reviews, the stars. All right. Yeah, the how to is definitely big, and we'll talk about that in just a moment as well. Carrie, there's a description visible. Yes. What else? There's something else. There's a few more things. It's in stock, right? Do you see that? You folks see that? The other thing is it's got several keywords, right? Several of our keywords that we used up here. Absolutely, Marion. Price point, right? So you see that? It has the price point there. So we know immediately what it costs. There's 47 5-star reviews. That's big, right? There's no more social proof needed than that. Okay? So there's several reasons why getting your book listed on Google will just really help you out. It just snatches the attention away. Now here's another example. Let's say you have a book listed on Amazon that's titled Money, Wealth, Life Insurance. Then you have someone that goes over to Google, they're looking for information on money, wealth, and insurance. Take a look at where this ebook shows up. Not only in the first page, but the first, second position of the first page, right? Out of 134 million results. This is even more impressive, all right? So how many of you folks know about SEO, search engine optimization? Is this easy to do? Right? This would really cost you if you hired a search engine optimization company, right? Number one, it would take them a good amount of time to do this. Number two, it would cost you a pretty penny. All right, we're talking thousands of dollars on the high end. All right. Here's another example here. Let's say you have an ebook titled How to Retire Happy, Wild, and Free. Someone goes in to Google and they type in How to Retire Free. Take a look at where this ebook is showing up. First page of Google, out of 98 million results, first and second position. Isn't that pretty cool? Right? So pretty cool. All right. Jim says, no, it's not easy. Absolutely. All right. So this is stuff that you guys really should be doing here. So secret number one was to use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and to create titles. Now, before I jump into secret number two, I want to give you guys a little bit more. We want to talk about titles a little bit more because, like I said, your titles are your first line of defense, right? Now, after months of testing, I found that by simply adding the following elements to my titles, I could actually dramatically increase my sales, sometimes by 2, by 3, and sometimes by, quadrupling my sales. Right, so let's look at these things. These are what I call my title enhancers, and these are the elements, again, like I said, that double and triple sales. Title enhancers work so well because they answer the questions that your prospects are subconsciously asking themselves, right? So I'll say that again. They answer the questions that your prospects and your buyers are subconsciously asking themselves in their head. And I'll give you an example of that in just a moment. So let's say you have 2 ebooks listed on Amazon. On the left, you have one titled How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional. On the right, you have one titled Learn to Stain Your Deck, right? So here you've got How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional. Here on the right, you've got Learn to Stain Your Deck. Now, let's say we've got a guy by the name, let's get a little bit theatrical with it. Let's say we have a guy by the name of, let me use someone here. Give me a guy. We've got Jim. I'm going to use you. Robert Jackson. Robert, I'm going to use you. Robert says I just came in. So Robert says, he says to his wife, and honey, I'm going to go out and stain the deck one day. Now, this was a year ago. So it's a nice weekend, and Robert's wife comes up to him and gives him an ultimatum. She says, Robert, it's 80 degrees outside. You're going to go out there and you're going to stain this deck today, or else you're going to be sleeping on the couch for the next year. Robert does not want to sleep on the couch. He's sweating, right? He knows that he's got to go out there. He's never stained a deck before, but he knows that he can probably find some information on how to do it on Google or on Amazon. So he picks up his iPhone or his Android phone, or he goes to his PC, or he opens up his laptop, and he goes in and he types in how to stain a deck, and he sees 2 ebooks that come up. Right on the left, how to stain your deck like a professional, and then he sees learn to stain your deck. And meanwhile, he's sweating. He's never done this before. He's nervous. He's asking himself, how am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? Which of these 2 books do you think will stand out the most to Robert? How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional, number 1. So put number 1 into the questions box if you think that's it. Or Learn to Stain Your Deck, number 2. Which one? Number 1 or number 2? So let's see. Wow, the answers are flying in. So we've got Jim says 1, Kiri says 1, Sierra says 1, Elizabeth says 2, Dove says 1. All right, we've got Luke says 1. Number 1, the how to says Joe. Patricia says 1. Charles says 1. Dennis, Beth, Nancy, Sandra, Jackie, Kat, Robert, Gary, and Rick all say 1 as well. All right, so if you chose number 1, give yourself a pat on the back. All right, well, number 1 works so well because it has the title enhancer how to in it. This enhances your title because we all want to learn how to do things, right? And subconsciously, we're asking ourselves, how am I going to do this? Here's another example of a great title enhancer, quickest way to, right? So if you add this title enhancer onto your title, so you have something like the 21 quickest ways to make money online versus the guide to making money on the web. This one is always going to outperform this one in most cases, right? Fastest way to, we always want the fastest way to do something, right? So if you add this title enhancer and you come up with a title like the fastest way to get your nursing degree versus something like Health Quad's nursing guide, right? Versus something like, here's another example, easy ways to, right? We always want the easy way to do things. So quick and easy ways to lose weight, right? Tips to, world's best kept tips to losing weight. All right, so title enhancers work extremely well. As a matter of fact, you folks should take a screenshot of this so that you have these. How to, quickest way to, fastest way to, easy ways to. All right, let me know once you've done that and we will move on. Yes, absolutely. Sarah, learn sounds like it would take longer, while how to sounds like anyone could do it. Absolutely. Jim says I'm done. So Jim, I'm gonna assume that everyone else is done. Thank you. All right, so let's rock and roll. All right, you guys ready to continue? Or do you have enough? Should we just cut it out here, or do you guys want to continue? Because this is just step 1 here. We still got more stuff to cover. But if you guys have gotten enough, then it's maybe I can go home and grab something to eat. I haven't eaten much today. It's been a busy day. Keep rolling, says Joe. Jim says more. Yes, Sierra. Continue, says Patricia. We want more. More, says Alberto. I haven't heard from you the entire webinar. So just because of that, we're going to continue. Let's rock and roll. I'm having fun. All right, so how to. Let's take our title enhancers, right? Let's take our title enhancers. All right, and one of the things that works really well is taking these title enhancers and then mashing them up with your main phrase, keyword, or the topic that you want to publish an ebook around. All right, so for example, let's say we have our title enhancer how to, and then we have the phrase garden, or the keyword garden, I should say. That's not a phrase. We put them both in here. We hit search. Now, I'm going to test you folks. So let's see who's been paying attention. Now, we hit search, and Google tells us for the phrase how to garden, there were 45.5 million global searches conducted within the last month. Now, answer me this. Is that within our desired search criteria? Yes or no? 45.5 million. All right? Yes or no? So let's see. I'm going to give you a second to go in and answer. And while you're doing that, I'm starting to get a little bit perched here. So I'm going to grab a quick sip of water here. So is that within our desired search criteria? Yes or no? All right, so let's see who gets it here. We've got the yeses coming in. We've got the no's coming in. Just a bunch of awesome answers that are coming in here, so let's see. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna try to adjust the bottom screen too, so you guys can see the bottom a bit more, hopefully. All right, we'll see what happens here. All right, so let's see. We need 10,000 to 100,000, says Sierra. No, it's more than 10,000, says 100,000. I'm sorry, says Jim. Too large search volume, says Dana. 10,000 to 100,000, says Nancy. All right. No, too many. All right. No, it's more than 100,000, says Daniel. All right. So yeah, you folks are right. So it's more than 100,000. Now, luckily for us, Google gives us similar phrases that people are searching for. So let's take a look at some of these other phrases. How to make a garden, number 1. There's 201,000. global monthly searches. How to design a garden, number 2, 550,000 global monthly searches, so just over 500,000. How to build a raised garden bed, number 3, 12,100 global monthly searches. How to plant a garden, 301,000 global monthly searches. So which of these would make the most ideal phrase to publish an ebook around? Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And again, I'm gonna let you folks go in and put your answers in. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Which one? Right, and then I've just adjusted that screen to the bottom, so you should now be able to see the bottom here, which says how to plant a garden. All right, so let me know if you can see the bottom also. Much better, says Jim. Awesome. All right, so Kerry says number 1. Mark says number 3. Kate B says number 3. Think I've heard from you the first time tonight, Kate. Number 3 says Alberto. All right. Yes, you're right, Dana. Absolutely. Luke says finally conceive a bottom. Great, Luke. Number 3 says Sierra. Number 3 says Mark. Eric says number 3. The other Mark says number 3. We've got Mark Jones and Mark Smith here. We've got Sandra says number 4. Dennis says number 3. Luke says number 3. Number 3 says Beth. All right. Raised garden bed at 12,000 is on the money, says Joe. Joe, you are absolutely right. Now, I should have actually kept this one to myself, so don't go telling my wife that I'm giving away jewels on this webinar here, because I don't want to screw up my happy home here, right? Don't go messing up my happy home. But this is, in all seriousness, this is ideal for so many reasons. Number 1, it's within our desired search criteria of 10,000 to 100,000, right? Number 2, it has our title enhancer in it, how to. Number 3, it's just extremely specific and knits down, right? How to build. Not only is it talking about how to build a garden bed, but it's talking about how to build a raised garden bed, right? Do you see how specific that is? That is incredible right there. So if you think, do you think if you had 12,100 individuals that were actively searching on Google for information, or better yet, that are typing how to build a raised garden bed into Google, do you think it would be hard or easy to sell them your ebook on Amazon? It's exactly what they're looking for, right? It's exactly what they're looking for. So it would be super easy. Yes, says Mark. Absolutely. Right? Let's see. Easy peasy, says Joe. All right. Yeah, Mark, both a Jones and a Smith on here, right? So, you know, now take a look at this. Remember, we talked about how important our titles are, right? And we talked about adding on, so creating like a subtitle here. So something like this, how to build a raised garden bed. Let's go through a quick exercise. What type of a subtitle could you tie into this? Right? This is super easy. So how to build a raised garden bed in a weekend, right? Or how to build a raised garden bed on a budget. Or how to build a raised garden bed that your neighbors will envy. Give me a couple of examples. How would you tie that in? Let's see. What do you got? Joe, Mark, Jim, Sierra. On a budget, says Mark. I love it. How to build a raised garden bed to feed your family, says Joe. There you go. All right. How to build a raised garden bed in a few easy steps, says Dove. You got it. There you go. All right. How to build a raised garden bed in 5 hours, says Mark Jones. How to build a raised garden bed in a small area, says Jim. How to build a raised garden bed in 5 steps, says Sierra. All right. So yeah, you folks got it. Absolutely. So this is pretty simple stuff, right? Remember when I talked about having a system before? Do you see how systematic this is? It's like, boom, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do this. First thing we do is the market research, right? Because it doesn't matter what you're selling. Listen, I could care less if you're creating. I want you to create a Kindle business, because this is something that does extremely well for not only me, but just a ton of my other students. But keep this in mind. No matter what type of business you're starting or you have, you always want to do the market research to make sure that there's a demand there, right? So make sure people are actively searching for what it is that you're planning on making available to them, all right? Mark, I got you totally. So 32 ways to build a raised garden bed on a budget. All right, awesome. That's a good one. How to build a raised garden bed with ease, says Eric. All right, how to build a raised garden bed for disaster preparation, says Alberto. There you go. All right. Jim says how to build a raised garden bed in your backyard. All right, so there you go. How to build a raised garden bed that your neighbors will envy. How about that? All right, so you guys have it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are official Kindle publishers. So let's move on here. Now, secret number 2. My slide is a little bit screwed up here. Maybe that's because I adjusted the bottom there. But secret number 2, 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast. All right, in my preferred order, I've used every single one of these, and in my preferred order, this is what I like to do. All right. Number 1, get someone else to write it for you. All right. I use this option a lot, and I paid as little as $100 to $125 to have people write content for me. The beautiful thing about this is you own the content 100%. So you can go back, you can resell it as long and as often as you want, which is the beauty of publishing Kindle books. You publish it once and it continues to sell. You can put your name on it. You can use a pen name if you want, right? Option number 2, you can speak it, then have it transcribed. How many people are familiar with the transcription program that's on your computer? Most PCs. How many people know where to find it on your PC if you have a PC? And Macs, you have Siri. So you can do it on a Siri if you have a Mac. But if you have a PC, do you know where your transcription program is? Nancy says found it once, then can't find it again. Do you guys want me to show you really quickly? Joe says I didn't even know I had it. Yeah, yes, please. Okay, awesome. So here's where it is. So if you go down to search, I'm using Windows 10, which I'm not a big fan of. But if you just go down to your... Oh, I'm sorry. Don't type that in. Type in speech recognition. All right, and then you hit that, and it's on almost all versions of Windows, right? I know it's on like 7, because that's what I mainly use. Like I said, I'm here at my office. I came to my office because my kids have some of their friends spending the night again for like the 4th night in a row. All right, so that's it right there. So there you go. The third option is write it yourself. Not my favorite, but if you're a writer, this is the perfect option for you. Right, my wife can crank out an ebook in like 2 days. Right, I so envy her because she just cranks them out. So if you're a writer, then you could do this. Right, or if you want to outsource it, which is what I do for most of mine, you can do that. If you want to go in and speak it, then have it transcribed. Right, you can do that. So there's 3 ways to doing this. Now, secret number 3 is to go in and publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly. Now, this part literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes to both create your Kindle Publishers account as well as add ebooks to it. Amazon has made it very, very, very easy, right? They've made it super easy. In fact, they don't even charge you to go in and create your Kindle Direct Publishing account, right? And once you start selling ebooks, they only take 70%. Right, depending on what you price your ebooks at. But I'm sorry, they don't take 70%. They give you 70%. They only take 30%. Right? So I think one of the most brilliant things that Amazon has ever done, and it's disrupted the publishing industry to a degree, right, is they created this Kindle Direct Publishing platform. Now, who remembers when Amazon first got started? Back in the day, right? How long has Amazon been around for? It's been around forever, what seems like forever now. But who remembers what their number 1 goal was when they first got started? Before they started, what is it, Joe? Joe says I do. Right? Before they started selling bottled water and supplements and food and everything else, right? Now they have like, I was just reading somewhere now where they've got like prepared meals that they can ship out. So they're competing with like Blue Apron and some of the other services that are out there. So their number 1 goal was to be the world's biggest bookseller, says Joe. Absolutely. Right? Books. It started with books, says Nancy. Sharon says books. Selling books, of course, says Mark. To have every book in the world, wasn't it, says Jim. All right? July 1994, says Luke. Is that right? Wow. Have they been around that long? 13 years. All right, so yeah, so before when Amazon first got started, their number 1 goal was to be the planet's largest bookstore. Now, they knew that with competition, right, what are some of the bookstores that are currently around or that used to be around? Throw some names out because I know we've got a worldwide audience that's here. So we've got like Barnes and Nobles, we've got Borders, we've got Kohl's, we've got Books A Million, right? Waterhouse Smith. What else is out there? We had there's one in New York that I used to go to all the time. The name escapes me right now. But they knew that with all of these bookstores that were already there, right? Abe and Walden Books. Oh, but Walden Books. Wow, I totally forgot about that, Marion. They knew that it was going to be kind of difficult to come into this new space, right? And be the new guy and take over, right? Take over. And now, wow, just 13 years ago, they've totally obliterated the competition. I'm not sure if Hastings is still around, Joe. But one of the things that they realized is that they was not going to be able to do this on their own. So what I think is brilliant and what really benefits both you and I is the fact that they came up with the Kindle Direct Publishing platform. And they said, you know what, let's do this. We have this massive reach. We've got this global audience. Why don't we open up a platform that allows anyone who has significant or decent content to come in and publish it to our platform and make it available to our audience? Right? I thought that was brilliant in more than two ways, more than one way. Number one is that it gave a platform, not only just a regular platform, but a global platform to anyone that had content. So me, you, anyone else that's watching this thing. The second thing is it instantly made Amazon the planet's largest bookstore because now they have all of its content, right? And it's digital. So I think that was brilliant for the fact that they came up with this Kindle Direct Publishing platform and the whole Kindle concept, right? So now Amazon has made it easy. Now, why would they not charge you to go in and create an account? And why have they made it so easy, right? Why have they made it easy? Well, they made it easy because they want you to come in, share your content, make it available for sale, right? And Patricia, you hit it right on the head because they make money from your sales. So every time you make money, Amazon makes money, right? Thank you, Patricia. Right, awesome answer. So now once you publish it, your book is now published on Amazon and ready to make you money, right? So here's an example of one here, right? So now, once published, you can crank up the sales. Here's some of the things that I do here to crank up my sales. I repeat the process and then I publish more ebooks, including sequels, right? Sequels are big, so you really want to do that if you're not publishing sequels already, or if you're planning on publishing books, make sure that you're incorporating sequels into that. The other thing is go in and tweak the elements of your existing books, right? These are ways that you can increase your sales. Test things like your price points, right? Never just throw a price point out there and stick with it. Test it. Test things like your descriptions. Test things like your covers, right? Right? So you can always go back and change these elements after you launch your ebook because these are digital books, right? It's not like back when we were publishing physical books. If we wanted to change the cover, it was a nightmare, right? So you can go in and test all of that stuff. So now let's review. Secret number one, I showed you how to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. Secret number two, I gave you 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you hate writing. Secret number three, I showed you how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you can start making sales. Now, is anyone starting to feel excited about any of this stuff here? You know, I get extremely excited about talking Kindle publishing. Right? When it comes to talking Kindle publishing, not only do I get excited because, you know, I'm seeing a great amount of success with this, but so are my students. Like I shared with you earlier, you know, here's a professor up at Penn State who's one of my students, and he sent me this text. He says, you know, this month will be my first $5,000 month. I want to thank you for all of your guidance and inspiration. My goal is set on getting to the $10,000 per month level. All right, here's another one of my students, Tracy Voister, who sold 5 copies of her ebook within the first 72 hours of putting this stuff in place. All right, here's another one of my students, Dan DeVry, who says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. All right, 66 years old, he's in Perth, Australia, and he is rocking it. So let me ask you a question. How many ebooks do you need? Using this system that I'm sharing with you, where we go over the research, we show you how to properly come up with titles, show you how to properly lay out your descriptions, show you what price points work, and then how to outsource some of this stuff. I found that on average, right, you can generate about $500 a month in sales. per ebook, plus about 167 potential leads. All right, so now imagine having 5, 10, or 20 ebooks all bringing in monthly income. Where you do work once, your ebook sell for months and years to come. It's like residual income, right? That pays you month over month over month and over and over and over again. This is the part that becomes really addictive, folks. I got to be honest with you, right? I talked about being totally transparent at the beginning of this. I think I've done a lot to do that with you. But one of the most fun and addictive things of this whole entire process is checking your sales. Like, I got to the point where I was so bad for where I would wake up at 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and my wife would think that, you know, I was waking up to go to the bathroom, and I was actually waking up to go log into my computer to check my freaking sales. And I'm like, yes, there's another sale. Yes, there's another sale. It just totally blew me away because I was making sales. I'm making sales. Here it is, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning as I'm sleeping. I'm making sales. My Kindle books are selling. Because remember, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, where it is for you, right, might be 10 o'clock in the morning, or it might be 2 o'clock in the afternoon for someone else. So Mark says, I know what you mean. All right, so Mark, you know that feeling, right? Isn't that a beautiful feeling, Mark? I love that. All right, so Mark experiences that as well. So what makes this different is that it grows, right? As you saw, one of the first checks that I received was in the amount of $2,297.30. The next check was in the amount of $2,873.13. The next check in the amount of $4,462.53. And then the next check in the amount of $8,403.84. And now I'm consistently doing over $30,000 a month in sales, right? And it's also the perfect lead generator where you can generate, you know, just a ton of leads. Here, I show you where I've gotten over 3,300 leads just in 30 days, all right, for this one niche. So let me ask you a question. We've been totally transparent with each other. How much money do you need to make a difference in your life? Would it take an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month, an extra, you know, $2,000 a month? Post that and I won't call out your name. I'm just curious. So let's see. Any amount would make a difference. Starting at 1,000, says someone else. 10,000, 2,000, 3,000. How do you get those leads? I talk about that in the program, Joe. 8,000, says Jim. How do you get leads when they don't allow you to know who bought from you, Beth? There's a cool way of doing it, Beth, and I talk about that in the program as well. For leads can actually make you a lot of money. I make about an extra $8,000 a month just from the leads and just selling affiliate programs to those individuals. All right, affiliate products, I should say. About $1,000 to someone else, $600 to someone else, $3,000 to someone else. All right, so cool. So now, how could this change your life? Right? What would you do with the extra income? Would you put it towards your kids' future? Right? We have 2 teenagers that are in college now, and Amazon is helping to pay for a lot of their college expenses. As a matter of fact, my daughter, Maya, I had her start publishing Kindle books when she was 13. When she was 13, I gave her the first version of this program, and I gave it to her with no assistance. She got it up to the point where she's generating over $5,000 a month. So if a teenager can do it, you can do it. Right? Would you use it to pay off your mortgage? Would you use it to buy a house? As I shared with you earlier, I bought my mom a house and paid cash using this system. Would you use it to buy your dream car, pay off bills, get out of debt, travel the globe, donate to charities? The possibilities are literally endless, right? So let me ask you a question. The past hour, would you agree it's been time well spent? Now, obviously, we can't cover everything that you need in a 90-minute presentation, but I do have a special offer so that you can get everything that you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you the whole enchilada. So is it okay if I help you and share everything that I have here? One of the things that I realize is that old habits die hard. So, you know, we're human, right? We go to events, we go to seminars, we watch webinars, we get excited, but what happens? The next day, the excitement dies down. And even if we realize the potential of something, right? Even if we know within all our heart that what it is that we just saw can change our lives, sometimes we get into the habit of just getting back into life. I don't want that to happen to you, so you'll be thrilled to know that I created this program called Kindle Cash Flow Program. Now, this is not my $20,000 program, right? This is a home study course where you'll get instant access to it right, within like the next couple of minutes. So you can dive right in. You can start to work this entire program. You can start to see results. What you'll get in this program is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. This covers setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get burned. You get Kindling for Profits, which is a $1,497 value. This covers finding the right niche in readers, niches that sell, and readers that buy. You get the Biomagnet module, which is a $2,997 value. This covers the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, price points, descriptions, reviews here. You'll also get the KDP Cast Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. And in this module, I give you all of the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. All right, so now, I only want to work with 10 people here. And we've got a ton of people that are on this webinar. And as a reward for the first 10 people showing up, I'm going to give you some additional fast action bonuses here. The first fast action bonus that you're going to get is the Google Kindle Crunch. And this covers getting your ebook listed in Google, and we'll show you how to increase your sales big time. This is actually where 30% of my sales come from. So this is a $1,997 value. You'll also get fast action bonus number 2, which is the money multiplicity bonus. This covers how to publish the same content, right, that you'll be publishing on Amazon, and take it and publish it to Barnes & Noble's Nook Press platform and Apple's iBookstore platform. I get a check, not a check, I actually get a PayPal payment from Barnes & Noble's every single month. It's around the 16th or the 17th or the 18th that they send these things, right? Every single month. So using this, you can go in and you can actually triple your eBooks exposure. This is a $997 value, and it's an extra bonus class that I teach as well. Now, you're also going to get the special fast action bonus, which is your own real live virtual assistant. So you're going to get a real live person that can help you out for 40 hours. This individual will be able to help you out with researching topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out your descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working in some of your other businesses. Now, again, you're going to get this individual for 40 hours. It's a $600 value that actually costs me real money. So again, first 10 only. You'll also get access to our private Facebook group. I've got over 1,000 people, 1,000 students, right, that are all part of this program that are in here. They're working the system. They're making money. Some of them are making a couple of $100 a month. Some of them are making thousands of dollars a month. And some, like my students there under Brian and Brian, are making thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month, right? The beauty of having a Facebook group is, with this many people, is you get to join in on people that are just starting at the level that you're at. So you're never left alone. And then you also get to meet and rub shoulders with people that have been using this program for, 2, 3 months, 6 months, and they're really doing well. So you get to ask questions, you get to get updates, you get to share ideas, you get to brainstorm, you get to get help. Right? One of the quickest ways to be successful is to find out how successful people think, and then to associate with those individuals. Now, if you got to a point where, like my student there in Dubai, you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? Then every sale after that month is pure profit, right? Now, obviously, you're not going to pay $5,000, but even if you did, it would be worth it. Now, remember, only the first 10 people will get all of the fast action bonuses. So you want to type the URL in when I give it to you super fast so that you can be one of them, right? Now, with everything that you get coupled with the earnings potential, you can see why this program is a good deal at $5,000, right? And typically I sell it for $4,497 for the general public. But because you're at this event, right, you can get in right now for just a single payment of just $997 if you are one of the first 10 to get in, right? $997 if you are one of the first 10 to get in, and you can get in by going to www.30dayprofits.com, www.30dayprofits.com. I'll actually go in and I'll put that into the chat box so you folks will have it there. Right, so www.30dayprofits.com. The beautiful thing about this also is, if you want to use your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, your Discover card, you can go in and do that. If you don't have the funds to get in right now, you can also go in and use what's known as PayPal Credit, where you can get access to this program for 6 months with no payments or no interest, right? So go to 30dayprofits.com and you can sign up using the PayPal credit option, or you can use your regular PayPal funds if you have some in your account, or you can use your credit card if you choose to. Now, do me a favor, because we're letting 10 people in on this thing, the first 10, I want to make sure that I know who's part of that first 10. So when you get in, once you place your order, put I am in the questions box so I can make a note of your name. So put I'm in the questions box, all right? So make sure that you do that, and we'll make a note of who came in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. Now, I'm going to answer all questions as well. So if you have any questions, you can go in, okay, and ask your questions and we'll cover that. Now, if you want to go in and use that PayPal payment option, right, you'll go in and you're going to change the payment methods. This is once you're in PayPal, after you've clicked the 30-day profits link and you've gone in and clicked the order button there on that page. In PayPal, you want to change this to PayPal credit, all right? All right, so I hope that makes sense to you. Now, here's a testimonial from one of my students there in DeVry. He says, Ty, this has been my best month so far with 258 sales to date with only 3 titles. I'm very happy, all right, about this progress considering my circumstances, meaning he went through bankruptcy. He experienced a really bad recession over in Australia. And he says, I just wanted to say thank you again. I can see the end of a tunnel. All right. Dan DeVry. Michael is in. Mike says, I'm in. Mike, you are fast with the order forms. Your order has been received. Good to have you. So now when Darren sent this testimonial in, that means we have 9 slots left, folks. So if you want to be in, act quickly. When Darren first emailed me his testimonial, I sent him an email back asking if I could use it. He then sent me another reply back the next day, and he says, Ty, yes, you can use it. I'm now up to 336 sales as we speak. I'm happy with that. I was hoping for 200 sales this month, so I'm really happy. I'm going to try for 1,000 sales a month starting next month. Thank you, Dan DeVry. All right. Now, he then sent me a few months later, he sent me another message. This was on Skype where he says he's doing $20,000 a month in sales. All right. Rhonda, welcome aboard. I have you in. Rhonda says, I am in. All right. Yes, fact and fiction you can publish with this. All right. So there you go. Now, if all this did, so we've got Mike, we've got Rhonda in. That means we've got 8 slots left. The slots are filling up fast. So be sure to type in I'm in once you get your order in here. Now, if all this did was to finally allow you to generate a consistent, hands-free, passive income, would it be worth it? Think about that. Remember, at the very beginning, I talked about having shiny object syndrome. And before I came up with this system, I was all over the place, not really making any true money, right? This was the saving grace for me, right? So if all this did was to give you a kick in the butt to finally get you moving, right, and making money, would it be worth it? Think about that. Would it be worth it? If all this did was to give you 2 to 3 eBooks that each brought in $500 per month to pay a bill, right, or save, would it be worth it? Right? So ask yourselves those questions. Would it be worth it? Absolutely. Right, so we have Jim is in. Jim says, I'm in. So Jim, let me add you to the list here. And Maura is asking, what is the link to join? I'm going to send it to you again, Maura. It's 30dayprofits.com. All right, we have Jim that's in. It looks like Maura is getting in as well. Now, here's the thing, folks. All right, we have 6 spots left. So if you want to get in, you want to act fast. So here's the thing. This comes with a 100% risk-free guarantee. All right, if you're not completely satisfied with this program for any reason, email me within 60 days. No one gives you 60 days to try it out. I do. All right, I give you 60 days. That's how much I back this thing. All right, try the program out, and if you're unhappy for any reason, I'll refund your full purchase price. All right, this is my personal guarantee to you. So again, you'll get the entire program, right, by going to 30dayprofits.com. The beautiful thing about having this program is you get to look over my shoulder, you get to see what I do, why I do it, and then the results that I get as a result of doing it. All right? So this is it. So this is the entire program. This is the life-changing program here 30dayprofits.com. Get in. We've got Maurice is in. All right? Maurice is in. We've got Peggy Layton is in. So let me add in Maurice. We've got Peggy is in. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 people in already, 5 slots left. All right, 5 people in, 5 slots left. So if you want to be in, act quickly. All right, so now here's everything that you're going to get with this program. You're going to get the setup, which is a $997 value. In this module, we cover how to set up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. All right, you also get the Kindling for Profits module. In this module, right, is a $1,497 value, and in this module, I show you how to find the right niche in readers, niches that sell, and readers that buy. And then you also get the Buyer Magnet module. In this module, you'll get all of the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, price points, descriptions, reviews, right? So you get the whole enchilada here, all right? So now, you'll also get the KDP Cash Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. This module covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. All right, total value $8,991. All right, so you'll also get Fast Action Bonus number 1 if you're within the first 10. All right, so Fast Action Bonus number 1 is the Google Kindle Crunch. This module, this bonus module, will show you how to get your ebooks listed in Google, which will in turn increase your sales big time. This is where 30% of my sales come from. This is a $1,997 value, and you're going to get it free here as one of the fast action bonuses here. All right, we've got Richard is in. Welcome aboard, Richard. Good to have you. Smart move, Richard. All right, welcome aboard. Can't wait to see you in the Facebook group there, Richard. You're also going to get the fast action bonus titled Money Multiplicity. This is Fast Action Bonus number 2, where we show you how to publish the same content that you'll be publishing to Amazon and take it and publish it to Barnes & Noble's Nook Press platform as well as Apple's iBookstore platform, right? Tripling your ebooks exposure. This is a $997 value, right? You'll also get your own virtual assistant, right? So you'll get this individual for 40 hours, and she can help you with researching topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out your descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working on or in some of your other businesses. This is a $600 value that actually cost me real money. So again, it's extremely limited. You can get in now by going to 30dayprofits.com. I will put that into the chat box again, 30dayprofits.com. All right. You'll also get access to the Facebook group where you can get to ask questions, you get updates, you get to share ideas, you get to brainstorm, you get help, right? You're never left alone, right? I'm constantly in there sharing what works. Now, normally, someone asked me earlier, what does this program normally sell for? Normally, it sells for $5,000, right? $4,997 for the general public, but because you're watching this event, you get to get started now for just $997 if you are one of the first 10 to get in. All right, 30dayprofits.com. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you don't have any money right now to put towards this system, you can use PayPal credit and get access, right, to the entire program, no payments or interest for 6 months. All right, so another option that we have is some people have been asking about a 2-payment option. If you prefer to make 2 payments, you can do that by going to yourkindlekit.com. So yourkindlekit.com. Let me go in and I'll grab this URL for you. All right. And I'll post this into the questions box so that you have both of them here. So it's yourkindlekit.com if you want to make 2 payments. And if you want to make the 1 payment, you can go to 30dayprofits.com. Right, so yourkindlekit.com. There you go. So you folks should have a link. All right. Now let's continue here. Let's see. Now at this point you have 2 choices. Option number 1, do nothing and not take this leap of faith. Option number 2, pony up the small, tiny investment today compared to all of the value that you'll receive in return and just give it a shot. All right, give it a shot. There's nothing that you have to lose here. All right. So this is just it's an amazing way to get started, folks. And also, if you have questions right now, we've got Mark Smith is in. Good to have you, Mark. All right. Mark Smith says, I'm in. All right. Here's my crazy guarantee. So there's 3 parts to this guarantee. Part 1 is research. If you can't find a hot topic to create your first ebook around, I will personally help you to get started. All right. I will personally help you to get started. All right. Option number 2 of my 3-part crazy guarantee, outsourcing. If you can't find someone to write your ebook for you, I will give you access to one of my best writers who will write your first ebook for under $150. All right, so that's part 2 of my crazy 3-part guarantee. Now, part 3 is sales. All right, if after 60 days you're not making at least $500 per ebook, I will have one of my top coaches jump on a call with you to help kickstart your sales. All right, so there you go. That's my 3-part crazy guarantee. You can't fail with this thing here. You'll get everything here for just the one low price of $9.97. You can get started now by going to 30dayprofits.com. You get this ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee with it. All right, with everything that you get coupled with the earnings potential, you can see why this program is a good deal at $5,000. Normally it's $4,997 for the general public, but because you're at this event, you get in for just $9.97. Keep in mind, folks, that with other opportunities, it can take you years to get your initial investment back. With something like this, you get 5 times back your first couple of ebooks that you publish, right? Right? So I've got something here I want to show you. This is the tale of 2 people. Right? On the left, you have a gentleman by the name of Timid Tommy, who is always doubtful. He's cynical. He's pessimistic about everything and never thinks he never thinks that he can do anything. He's doubtful about everything, right? And then you have the gentleman on the right, Brave Bob, who just excels at everything. And the difference between these two is Brave Bob has confidence, all right? He's not pessimistic. He's not cynical. He sees the opportunity. Whereas Timid Tommy, the opportunity is never right. The timing is never right for him. Don't be the Timid Tommy. You want to be the Brave Bob here. Get in now by going to 30dayprofits.com, 30dayprofits.com. All right, now, once you get there, you're going to be presented with a screen that looks like this. You can use this orange checkout button if you want to pay using your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, or your Discover, right? If you want to check out using PayPal, then obviously you'll click this one here, okay? So you can go in there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 3 more slots. And Jill says I am in. That means we have 2 more slots. So whether you're watching this live or the replay, you want to get in right now. All right, so that you don't miss out. Get in right now so that you don't miss out. All right, so now there you go. We've just had someone else that came in. Let me see who this is here. Oh, that's Peggy. Peggy Layton is in. Okay, good to have you, Peggy. All right. So Peggy is in. Awesome to have you, Peggy. You're going to love this program, folks. When you get in, you are absolutely going to love it. Trust me on this one. Now, we also have, let's see here. Again, once again, people are asking, what do you get with the program? So here's everything that you're going to get. Maura Shannon is in as well. Good to have you, Maura. All right, so that means that we have 1 more slot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Maura's in. We've got 1 more slot. Maura, welcome aboard. You're going to love this. Here's what you'll get. You'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. This covers setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. You'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. This covers finding the right niche in readers, niches that sell, and readers that buy. You'll also get the Biomagnet module, which is a $2,997 value. This covers the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, price points, descriptions, reviews, all of that good stuff here in this module. You'll also get the KDP Cast Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. This covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. All right? So everything here, the total value is $8,991. $8,991. All right? All right, now, Here's the bonuses. Fast action bonus number 1. Right? The Google Kindle Crunch. Getting your ebook listed in Google will increase your sales big time. This is actually where 30% of my sales come from, folks. So, right? If I generate $30,000 for the month, this is $10,000 of that will come from what I teach in this module, right? This module right here is gold, right? You'll get the money multiplicity bonus, which shows you how to publish the same content that you'll be publishing to Amazon on the Barnes & Noble's Nook Press platform, as well as the Apple iBookstore platform, all right? This will triple your eBooks exposure, folks. It's a $997 value, all right? You'll also get this extra special bonus, which is what drives people nuts, and that is your own virtual assistant that can help you with researching topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working in or on some of your other businesses. Right? You'll get this person for 40 hours. It's a $600 value that actually cost me real money. You can get in by going to 30dayprofits.com. Now, does anyone have any questions before I continue? Any questions? And let's see here. Right, you'll also get access to a private Facebook group. You can get started right now for just $9.97. And it looks like the last and final spot has been taken by Robert Jameson. I hope I'm not screwing up your name. Is that Jennison or Jameson? Right, so Robert J, you are in. Welcome aboard, my man. And if you have not gotten in, I sincerely, this is one of those businesses where there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of money to be made, and it's only for the serious people. People that are ready to change their lives. People that are ready to do things differently. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I know that there's a lot of people. Yes, James, I see your question there. We've got James there, and then we've got Jonah. Both Jonah and James said, I was just trying to get in. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Is there anyone else that still wants to get in? I'm not going to take everyone because, like I said, I don't need the money here. I'll take the money. I'm not, but I don't need the money. I just really want to work hand in hand with people that are genuinely serious about this. So James says yes. Jonah says I want to get in. Is there any? All right. So we've got Michael. We've got another Mike. We have Mike in here, but now we've got Michael who says I want to get in. Here's what I'm going to do. Joe, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It's Joaoteles, says I would like to get in as well. So that's 4 people. I'm going to open up 5 more slots. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open up 5 more slots on the back end right here. All right. So whether you're watching this live or here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up 7 more slots because we still have a ton of people that are watching this, and we're going to let the replay out as well. 7 more slots so that we have a total of 17 people in. So whether you're watching this live right now as Carrie and everyone else is in watching, or if you're watching the replay, you go to 30dayprofits.com, and if you see a red screen that says sold out, then it means that it's too late, right? But otherwise, Joe, Joao, Joe, go in and get in right now. Sign up now. Michael, go sign up. Joanne, go sign up. James, go sign up. Let me know once you've done so. Put I'm in the questions box so I can lock you guys in. And then after that, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, we would have 3 more slots left. So again, whether you're watching this live or the replay, go in, visit 30dayprofits.com to see if you see that big sold out screen. It'll be a big red sold out screen once we hit 17 people total. If you don't see where it says sold out, then there's a good chance that there's 1 more slot available, right? But I wouldn't wait long because at any moment someone could get in, all right? Yes, you can, all right? So Joe is asking if I don't have results, can I have a refund? $9.97 is a bit expensive for me right now, and I would like to do something financial wise. Yes, you can. We actually offer a 60-day money back guarantee. So go in and get in, Joe, and if it doesn't work for you, we would happily give you your money back. So 30dayprofits.com to make 1 payment of $9.97, or you can go to yourkindlekit.com to make 2 payments of $5.49. All right. James got in. James, welcome aboard. All right. So you are in. Good to see you joining us, James. All right. Who else is in here? Again, this is one of the text messages from one of my students, Brian. He says, I'm making $5,000 a month using your system. My goal is to get to the $10,000 per month level. All right. Here's another one of my students. This is Linda Allen, and this is in our Facebook group where she actually posted this. She says, I got Ty's program last year, and I'm so glad that I did. I made several $1,000s last year, and that's after stopping for several months. Think about this, folks. I want you to think about this. Where else can you stop what it is that you're doing? You definitely can't do this on a 9 to 5, right? With your 9 to 5. You can't stop working for months and still make thousands and thousands of dollars a month, right? As Linda has done here. That's what gets me so excited about this program. You should be in right now so that you can join Linda and Doc Berry and Debbie Jeffers and Jawar and Sharon and Gary and everyone else that's part of this group. Like I said, we have over 1,000 people that are part of this Kindle cash flow program, that are actively making money, that are actively publishing ebooks. All right? You want to join this group here. All right? Joanna's in. What is the link for the 2-part payment? Let me just go back. I'll show you that link. It's yourkindlekit.com. I'm going to show you. There it goes at the top. Do you see it, Joe? Let me know once you have it. Yes, it's a no risk, no questions asked guarantee. All right? So there you go. Write these down now, folks. 30dayprofits.com, because we are closing out this webinar now. 30dayprofits.com. Right? And we've got Joanne that's in. We've got James that's in. We've got Michael is in. All right? Joe, you're the last one to get in. And then after that, we have 3 slots left. All right? Joe says, I'm trying to pay right now. Awesome. So 30dayprofits.com to make that one payment of $9.97, or yourkindlekit.com. Go ahead, Joe. All right. You can make your payment. He's asking for 2 more minutes. Sure, not a problem. Or you can go to yourkindlekit.com to make 2 payments of $5.49. All right. So I've got students that are making money. I've got students that are making money continuously. I've got students that are sending in testimonials. And it doesn't matter where you live, folks. You can do this. Tony Robbins says, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. All right? Big. That's huge. Huge. Okay? So now, get in right now by going to 30dayprofits.com. 30dayprofits.com. Okay? Once you're in, stop by the Facebook group and say hello. Here's both for the URLs, 30dayprofits.com to make that one payment of $9.97, or you can go to yourkindlekit.com to make 2 payments of $5.49. All right. If you don't have a $9.97, you can break it up. All right. I want you to, if you have to talk this over with your significant, your wife, your husband, your business partner, write down these URLs right now, because I'm closing out this webinar and I would hate for you to miss out on this. So write both of these URLs right now and write the price points down alongside them. All right. So there you go. Any questions, folks? Any questions? All right. So there you go. Tell me, why haven't you signed up yet? Why haven't you signed up yet? Is it because you don't think that you can come up with ebook ideas that sell? Is it because you're nervous about putting it all in place? If so, we cover all of this, right? I show you how to come up with ideas, as I did on the webinar. I show you how to put it all in place step by step. Do you think it's too expensive, right? Most people will be fooled by the thought that this might be too expensive, but what you should be thinking about is the missed opportunity, right? It's too expensive not to get involved, because you're missing out on the potential income that you could be making, right? So it should always be, for most people, it's the fear of loss, right? So most people would have the fear of loss where they say, well, it's too expensive. That's the fear of loss versus looking forward to the gain, right? Because money, as Bob Proctor says, is never the issue. It's the way that we think about it. If there's something that you wanted bad enough, let's see, cannot pay with PayPal on two-payment part. No, it has to be a credit card, Joe, for the two-payment option. PayPal is only we can only accept PayPal with the one payment option. Sorry. Okay, Alberto Fernandez, I see that. Awesome. Alberto Fernandez wants to get in. Kerry, that makes total sense. Thank you, Kerry. All right. Now, if you didn't sign up immediately, is it because you live outside of the U.S.? Well, this is a program that anyone can go in and be a part of. Amazon has made it so easy that you can be from any country, literally. All right. I have students that are located in Italy, France, Russia, the UK, Australia, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, Nigeria. I even have two ladies that are in Russia. The US, obviously. Australia, I said. The UK, I said. Canada, the United States. You can do this no matter where you are, right? Amazon allows it. You want time to think about it? Well, here's the thing. We have 2 slots left. So whether you're watching a replay or you're on this thing live, we have 2 slots left. So you don't have a lot of time to think about it. And Joe is getting his orders straight now. So there's going to be 1 slot left once he tells me that he's in. All right. Reason number 6. English is not your first language. Doesn't matter. You can publish in, I think there's like 30 something languages that you can publish to on Amazon now. All right. So there's no excuses, folks. 30dayprofits.com to make one payment of $9.97. YourKindleKit.com to make 2 payments of $5.49. One payment now, one payment 30 days from now. Okay. So there you go. Now, if you didn't sign up immediately, maybe you've never sold anything online before. Maybe that's your reason, right? So if you've never sold anything online before, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Joe, we just got you. Joe, you're in Portugal, it looks like, right? Just got your order in. So Joe just got his order in. Joe, welcome aboard. All right. Joe now made person number 16. So that means that we have one more slot left. All right. So get in right now while you still can. If you're watching the replay, you may think I don't have enough money. Well, you can use PayPal credit, right? Talk to me. Everyone else is on board. Why haven't you signed up yet? Let me know. All right. I would play these, but they're not. It's not playing on this computer. As I said, I'm in my office now. We don't have those videos here. But I do want you to go in, get in. Here's the link. All right. You can get started now. And that is it, folks. That is it. I'm going to close this out so you can see the screen more clearly here. All right. Here's everything that you'll get. Get in now by going to 30dayprofits.com. All right, 30dayprofits.com. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining here and for being such an awesome crowd. James, thank you for having me here. All right. I greatly appreciated it. This was a fun event, fun audience, smart crowd as well. And I will leave the screen up for just a bit of time. Folks, go in and get in now. At least if you're interested, try the URL 30dayprofits.com to see if you still have that opportunity. If we're completely sold out, as I said earlier, you'll see a big sold out screen that says sold out. Yes, Joe. Absolutely. All right. All right, Joe says, I'm a proud Portuguese wanting to be a successful Kindle writer. There you go. Thank you. Yes, Maura, I've tried publishing my books in several languages, and I actually talk about that in the program. One of the first languages that I start with after English is Spanish. All right, so there's an extra bonus for you. Great question, Maura. Have a good night, good day, good morning.